Today I thought I'd take you along with me for some errands that I have to run, and then just in general show you a few glimpses of what it's been like as I've been in my van for the last couple weeks. So I think I'm going to use these. It's 1/2 inch aspen because it just kind of looks like the other wood. It's cheaper than any of the other ones. A lot of you have asked me if I'm going to get a camp chair, and I am. I think that's one of the most important decisions beyond your bed. So I'm really looking around for what I want. Haven't found one yet, so if you have any recommendations, I would love for you to tell me in the comments. Today, I am going to be tackling this. I have been putting it off because I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do there. I think I have an idea that it's just going to be wood across there. I've already done this. I have done the same or very similar to what I did here using a different tile that I had gotten but not used. And I like how it's turning out. This is just duct tape to seal it right here, but what is not here is what's going to go across and cover all of this. So this is insulation, there's insulation behind that, and it's all going to be covered with a piece of plywood. And those are my little plants. And you haven't seen this yet. These are tiles that I got, and they're just stick-on tile, but I love the copper of them. So that is very beautiful. The trim piece along the top there is missing, and obviously over here this is missing. This does not have any of this tile behind it, so I might be doing the same thing. And this is just temporarily on there with alien tape. That's why there's nothing heavy on there. I just have been checking it out, seeing if that is something that I like, and I am not sure what I would necessarily store there, so I'm still working it out in my head. But I've been sitting with all this for quite a while and not knowing what to do. I also put these little tiles here to finish those little pieces off, and of course I'm going to have to put a piece here. This corner shelf, if you've checked it out online, you'll realize that it doesn't have these little mirrored pieces in it. I added those to reflect light, but also thinking that it would just add a little dimension to the space. I love it. I love it just like I love the mirror in my little table. But what I'm finding hard, believe it or not, is filming in here with all the reflection of the mirrors. So I'm going to keep the one on the table, but I'm going to remove these and replace it with this. And it'll just add some color and dimension here. Just have to remove this. And remember, this is held down with alien tape. And I just have to remove the shelves. And I'll take these off. And they were just self-adhesive. This is different than the ones that are on this table shelf. On the table shelf, it's a thicker acrylic mirror, and these are just some kind of foil mirror. You can see it really floppy. Nice, but they're less adhesive, and they don't reflect as well. They don't reflect like a real mirror as much, I think, because they're so floppy. They were relatively inexpensive though, so that's why I got, I think, for over $6 for 12 of them or something. So it doesn't feel like too much of a waste. You can see a little more what this shelf looks like without the mirrors in them, or the shelves. And this is the thing that I had, the little caddy that I have on here that is with alien tape, so I don't really want to take that off because it works. This is where the adhesive to those foils were. But I wanted to show you, this is for those shelves that are in here, but then you'll see screws all along the way as well. And down here, I also have some screws, a couple
So you can see on the bottom here,
those screws are for keeping this shelf in place. They are screwed into this wall behind here, screwed and glued. So hopefully that won't cause me any problems. Hasn't so far. So yeah, not wiggling at all. So now I will put this paper on and we'll see what it looks like. They're really nice. They've got a smooth texture to them, but I like the dimension that they add as well. So here, I'll try to zoom it out for you. So I'm liking that, the texture that that kind of coppery color brings in, those tones, those natural tones that are springing out. And another little plant. I want to get air plants for the space, so because they don't need water or dirt, and that is good in a space like this. So that is how this is looking so far. I've been staying in the parking lot of a spa hotel that is the venue for a conference that I'm attending. And it has been really hot during the day, up into the hundreds. And I've just been keeping on my little vents and they've been doing great, but I'm not feeling the heat because, of course, I am indoors in an air-conditioned setting all day. But in the evening, it's been dropping down to the 70s, so it's been very pleasant. And some of you have been asking for the update on these ventilation fans, and all I can say is I've been in hot, humid weather, and as long as I have been keeping them on, they have been keeping the air drier and circulating it. Obviously, these vents, as max air fans as well, and I think I've told some of you in the comments, are not meant to cool down the area necessarily. They're vents. They're to keep moisture out and keeping the air flowing. I do have other fans that I use to blow air on me from the inside. I also bought these German-made metal vents, and I'll show you them, that I can keep on the windows in front. It's something that you would use if you had a pet inside your vehicle, but I use them when I'm at a safe venue where I can just put them in. They close up with the window, so they're pretty secure, and I have always felt safe using those. I use them in my other van as well. I kind of rigged them because they weren't made for Ford Transit Connects. These are made for the Ram Promaster vans, so they're a perfect fit. And I have enough ventilation and enough air flow that it keeps the temperature quality in here comfortable. I can't say it's like having an air conditioner running, but it definitely just allows me to function in here very comfortably. At night, I do put the one that's over the bed so that it's flowing in, and the one over the top flowing out, so that the airflow is going this way, so that it's coming down, and any hot air that's being circulated will go up and out, and any cool air will come down and in. So that, I think, at night allows the cool night air to come in and make me feel comfortable to sleep. I've been using the IKEA mattress topper that I have on the cool side, and that has been a great addition to my sleeping. I usually use a wool blanket. Wool because it wicks moisture and it doesn't absorb all the grime and dirt and everything from your body as much as cotton does, and so you can use them for a longer time before you have to wash them. This mattress topper, I feel, is a great addition because I don't have to have sheets. I'm just using the topper, and then I use my blankets on top. And I prefer that over sheets because sheets are just a mess to put on and off. Blankets too, but blankets I feel are easy. You can just go boom and you've got them on. I don't have to tuck them in. I feel like using sheets would just they would just be harder to put on and off and keep from wrinkling up when you're sleeping. So I just use my sleeping bag that is a nice material that isn't like the sleeping bag material, I guess. I don't know what it's called. I think it's made of some kind of blend, but I have really appreciated that when I'm sleeping, because it keeps me warm. But then otherwise I really just, I have a cool wool blanket that I also use. But other than that, I sometimes, if it's so hot, I don't use anything. And if it's cold, then those are great. And I use probably more wool blankets on me. So that's an update on these fans. They also do, somebody said that in the description it says it only runs for 4 to 6 hours or something, which I actually have the manual and I think it says that, but when I have literally, when I drive, I turn them off so that any sunlight that I'm getting while I'm driving down the road, it charges those little lithium batteries that are inserted in there up. And as I've been parked in this parking lot, which is partly shaded during the day, partly not, like I'm in under some trees, but it's not totally covered. So during some of the hottest parts of the day when I'm inside in the air conditioning, this van is out here in the blazing sun. So I keep them on, but they're also charging because they're getting direct sunlight. So that plus the ventilation, when I come in here in the evening around 8 o'clock, the sun's been down, or lower to the horizon for an hour or so, then I get in here and it feels very comfortable. So I'm able to cook if I haven't eaten in there and just get ready for bed and relax for a while in comfort and go to bed. So this is part of my day-to-day when I'm at an event like this, and I'm going from here to a wedding, and I'll do the same thing. There's an Airbnb that my family has rented, and so I asked them if there's a parking space on the property, and there is, and the host is fine with that as well. So I'm just going to be pulling up my van, and I'll have a shower there, so, and a bathroom, so I'll definitely use that. But it's nice to be in a nice little self-contained room that has all of my belongings and things that I use day to day to get ready. And the best part is actually that I'm sleeping in my bed every night. And I was talking this over with somebody that I was telling that I'm sleeping in a van. And I said, I think that's the best part, is usually when I'm at a place for the first time in a new bed, I don't sleep for the first night or two. And so what is an advantage as I'm going around and traveling is I'm always in my bed. And so my sleep is great every night because I can just come home and be in my space and my bed. So I will probably be taking you along on some fun adventures. These have been fun as well, but they're not some place that I can show you around. I'm done with my build, essentially. I've got a few more things that I will be showing you when I get those finished on the ceiling and wall thing. But other than that, I am done. And it feels weird to say that, but are you ever really finished? All of you say that in the comments. No, you're never really finished because I'll constantly be tweaking and looking, but I really do feel oddly just done, and I feel like I can call this home. So that is that for this video. If you are still watching, thank you so much for staying through to the end, and I will see you next time.